Hi Aries, welcome to your July astrology. So let's get into it. But before we do, remember, whenever I'm talking about astrology, I am using the whole sign tropical Western astrology system. And if you're only going to watch one of these, although I would love it if you watched all three, please make sure it's the one that you watch is for your ascendant or your rising sign because it's going to be that much more accurate for you on the day-to-day level. With that said, I am Raphael, a of Radiant Reality. So I am an astrologer, tarot reader, numerologist, and energy worker. For those of you that would like to know, if you want to book a personal session with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. So let's get started on the 4th of the month, right? So on the 4th of July, we have Venus coming into a conjunction with Uranus in your second house of money, finances, and resources. Now, this is in effect, right? This is all about your money, it's all about your finances, it's all about your resources. But more importantly, it's about your values, right? So, Venus for you rules your second house and your seventh house of relationships. The second house is your values. And so you could be thinking about, especially because Uranus is here, this might be a disruption to your finances, especially where partnerships and relationships are concerned. Now, it's not the eighth house, it is the second, but this is really about your money. So this is money surprises, value system shocks, especially if you're partnered. You could realize that something is more important to you than it is to your partner, and vice versa. It could just be that there's a disagreement, right? It doesn't have to be a full-blown bust up, but something is being highlighted about where you're not on the same page here, potentially. Venus, it rules your second house of money, finances, and resources. So she's very strong here. Uranus is not as strong here. So there is that kind of working in your favor. It could also be that this is a moment where you're merging finances and relationships, but in an unexpected kind of way, right? So maybe someone comes through to really help you or support you. This could be a shake-up in and around money and finances. The second house is your earned income, your self-esteem, your personal values and possessions. So if you have if you own tech, this could be a time where maybe you're needing to sort of enhance that. It might be where some of you are buying tech as well. That's possible. You might end up realizing a possession, a person, or a habit that you have is actually holding you back from the kind of real security that you crave, right? So in this regard, it could be with a partnership. This could be personal, professional, or platonic. It doesn't always mean your life partner. All right. Now, when it comes to on the 5th of the month, we've got Venus moving into Gemini into the third house. So this is bringing a bit of a soothing balm to your words. It's making communication that much easier. Venus here is sweetening your voice. It's bringing charm, to your words. It's inviting harmony to your immediate environment as well. You might find pleasure in short trips, writing, learning, anywhere that you're having those kind of conversations or interactions. It could be as well, Venus, obviously in the third house, could enhance the communications that you have with a sibling. It could be that a sibling shows up to help you or support you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they just come with the words that you need at that given moment in time. And because she rules your second and your seventh, she might also bring financial discussions or romantic texts or information to the table. It's a really good time for you to speak about what it is that you want, what it is that you need, right? It's a really good time to talk about to talk to your relationship partner and talk, with them about where things are going. On the 7th of the month, Uranus is coming into the sign of Gemini. This is massive, right? This is once in 84-year transit. You're getting a 3-month taster of it now, and then 6 to 7 years of it once we get to April of 2026. It immediately comes in and trines Pluto in your 11th house, right? Of friendships, connections, benefactors. So this could be it could be the start of a brand new time when it comes to your communications, potentially even your skill set. You might start learning how to use technology, how to use AI. You might start getting really interested in this stuff. Uranus here is going to electrify your mind. It's going to make you really quick. It's going to make you really fast, but it's also going to heighten your nervous system. So you do need to be mindful that, when it feels like everything is running at 100 miles an hour and you're like, okay, we're going to slow it down now, right? New technologies, new ideas, even social media platforms may start to call to you at this time. And the trine to Pluto in your 11th house means that the shift is directly connected to your vision for the future of your life, the communities, the friendships, and the connections that you're a part of. What you say at this moment in time and moving forward could really reach far beyond what you have imagined, and it may connect you with people that you just didn't know that was possible for you to connect with. So I actually really like this for you. It could really bring in some wonderful new people into your life, because the third house is your locality, right? It's where you live, it's your local shops, it's the website that you visit every day, it's your local environment. And so there could be shifts and changes that show up in that area for you as well. I've often encountered as well, whenever the third house is activated, that can also trigger a move, a change of home, or a change of environment. On the 10th of July, we've got a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. This for you is in your 10th house. This is your career, your social status, how you are seen out there in the world. A goal could come to fruition or completion. Remember, full moons are endings, completions, culminations. Whatever you've been building, now you could see what about that is real, or it could be becoming real, right? It could become tangible for you. It's the professional spotlight, right? But it's also a reality check because it is a Saturnian energy after all. Are you proud of the direction that you're heading in when it comes to your career? The sun, obviously, at this time is in the sign of Cancer, so it's in your fourth house of home and family. That's a really important factor to you at this moment in time. But the moon in Capricorn is highlighting to you how your work, your career, your profession, the authority figures that you are tied to or not, as the case may be, are affecting those goals that you have for your career. So it could really help you find the sweet spot, I think, between your ambition and your sense of belonging. On the 18th of the month, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Leo. This for you is in your fifth house. Joy, pleasure, romance, creativity, children, luck, lotteries, and windfalls. Your creativity is coming up for review here. Are you creative? Do you use your creativity? Mercury here is really getting you to look at your life and say, where is the joy? Where is the pleasure? Where's the self-expression? Where's the romance? Where's the entanglements? Where's the butterflies in your stomach? Where are the moments of joy and happiness and the bold declarations? Mercury for you rules your communications and conversations, but it also rules your physical health and vitality, your day-to-day work ethic, all of that stuff. So you could be rethinking a creative routine. Maybe you're rethinking how you approach your body or your sense of style. Another way that you could see this, because the fifth house is like hobbies, maybe you go back to the gym, maybe you go back to yoga, maybe you start doing something that you used to absolutely love. And it would have like a physical sort of element to it. Children, whether those are literal children or metaphorical, Radiant Reality is my metaphorical baby, may be involved at this time. You could be rethinking. This could be a child comes back to live after uni or around the holidays, etc. All of that kind of stuff. Um, it's a time for you to really go inward because it's Mercury going inward. So you're thinking or rethinking, are you still lit up by what you're doing, by how you're presenting yourself? All of those things are coming up at this time. On the 20th of July, Mars, your ruling planet, in the sixth house where it's exalted. So it says a strong Mars, right? In the sign of Virgo. This is a dutiful little soldier of a Mars, right? And a strong Mars at that because it's exalted in the sixth. Mars is also your chart ruler. So it's meeting the South Node, which means something's being cut off, something's being ended, something's being removed or released. Mars is cutting energy, passion, excitation, irritation, war, scissors, needles, scalpels, anything that's sharp, anything that removes or cuts or severs is Martian. The South Node is a draining point then is you getting rid of or releasing something from the sixth house. Well, this could be your job, it could be the work that you're doing, it could be a health routine that no longer works for you. But because it's the sixth house, I do wonder if whatever you're releasing at this time, it's due to a health thing, right? So maybe you say, right, from now on, I'm going to cut the sugar out or I'm going to cut it down. Maybe you say to yourself, right, I'm going to stop eating meat, right? Maybe you become a vegetarian. And I would say be mindful with this because whatever you do bring to an end at this time, it will stay gone, right? So really and truthfully, on the really great side of this, it could see you end something that maybe you didn't have the strength or the willpower to end on your own. But this could give it to you, right? This is a once in 19-year transit, I believe, right? So the odds of this, because the nodes move and you'll have a nodal return to the sign of Virgo in 9 years' time, but at that point it will be the North Node, right? So it's a once in sort of 18, 19-year transit, this. It's a pretty big deal. So whatever you're releasing or letting go of, it has the potential to really bring a sense of freedom. Remember, Mars for you is your first and your eighth houses, so this could also have a financial slant to it, especially where there have been problems with or around debts, where there have been problems or issues around who pays what, why you pay it, and all of that kind of stuff. Some very, very big conversations could be coming up at this time. On the 21st of July, we've got Venus at the bendings of the nodes. And what this means is she's effectively setting up a little bit of a T-square, right? And because it's the nodes, we know that there is a fated quality to this. So, Venus at this time is going to be in your third house of communications, but this is your nodes, which are in the sixth and the 12th house. Conversations around your physical health and vitality, around your work and your job. I have this feeling that something around your day-to-day work and responsibilities is going to go up. And because she's then also squaring the node of the North Node in your 12th house, there's an element of this that suggests that some kind of secret will come to light. Remember, the third house is a communication. The second house is your values and your morals, and the third house is your Venus rules your second house of money, finances, and resources, and the seventh house of relationships. And the 12th house, where the North Node is all about the past. So something could come to light at this time, some piece of information, some piece of a puzzle, something that you didn't know, or something that you wanted to know, or always felt like was missing from your knowledge, or your maybe even just yeah, like the knowledge that you feel like you didn't have. It's like something is shared with you at this moment in time, and it makes a lot of sense. Um, because Venus rules your second and your seventh, the message might be to touch on love, right? Self-worth, financial relationships of any and all kinds as well. Um, there's something about this that feels, because it's the nodes as well, right? So whatever conversations are being had at this time, they are fated in some way, right? And there's always that saying, like, there are three things that cannot long stay hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. On the 23rd of July, the sun comes into Leo, bringing your focus and your attention. It's bringing the brightness and the lightness. It's bringing the fun and the joy and the laughter. It's lighting up this creative sector. So you could be feeling like you're needing to shine, right? Like you need to flirt, you need to play, you need to create, you want to feel alive. If you've got kids, you could be like the big ball of sunshine in their lives at the moment. And they're like, wow, like mum and dad are really like, they're really doing it. Like they're really fun. Like maybe they've forgotten that version of you. Maybe you've forgotten that version of you. This is your inner child's favorite season, right? So feed and clothe and house and give candy floss to that inner child, right? You might crave attention now, and quite rightly so, right? Everybody wants to be admired and desired and required. And this could be the time, even if there's just nothing in it, right? It's just harmless flirting when you go to a bar and you have some drinks with friends or whatever. This is a great time for that. It's also a beautiful time to begin a passion project. And even if that passion project is just to have a better or a happier or a healthier relationship with yourself, right? Or even your children if you have them. This is a really wonderful time for all of that. And it's a great time to play the lottery or anything like that because your fifth house is really lit up at this moment. And as if all of that wasn't enough, then on the 24th of the month, you've got the new moon in the sign of Leo. So this is planting seeds for how you connect to your inner child, how you nourish your inner child. It's also setting intentions around your creativity, your romance, fertility. If you want children, this is a great time to do that for you. If you felt dimmed, right? If you felt like your sparkle or your shine just hasn't been as bright as it has, this is the time to ask for it back, right? And the new moon says, dare to love being yourself. On the 25th of the month, we've got the sun then coming directly into an opposition with Pluto. This is fifth house, 11th house stuff. The push-pull between what you want to create and what the group or the community require or desire from you. Your joy and your obligations are coming into a bit of a clash here. The raw truth, really, of what you want at a heart level and the influence that the public opinion, whoever that might be, has on you. There's a challenge here, right, to hold on to your individuality, even as if your audience or your peers or your friends, etc., kind of tried to say to you, well, maybe you should do this. Obviously, you've got to listen to yourself, but Pluto wants to transform your future vision, right? To show you just how powerful, how vast, how wonderful the future could truly be for you if you open up to it. But the sun in opposition to that is saying, I can only do that if I'm presenting the real me. And only you can decide what that is. But if it's through the guise of being tied to another person, and this isn't to say like you all have to dump your partners or whatever. What I mean is if you're overly identifying with a partner, with a friend, with your family, with whatever, then you're not really truly being authentically yourself. And that's what's really being required here because the power struggles that arise, if they're arising, it's probably because you're not being clear enough about who you truly are and maybe with yourself. On the 31st of July, Venus is going to come into the sign of Cancer. She's beautifying your home. She wants softness and comfort and emotional nourishment and care. This is maybe you're beautifying your place, maybe you're painting the place, maybe you're redecorating, reconnecting with loved ones, maybe spending time, with family at their homes or in your home. Venus obviously rules your second and your seventh. So it could bring financial or relational harmony through your home or your family ties, right? And I would say as well, because the fourth house is can be home, it can be family and ancestry, but can also be mother. So there might be something around this at this time as well. It's more of a quiet gift that you kind of feel more in your bones than anything else. And I will say home could really be your sanctuary and your anchor at this time, so treat it as such. If you want to book a personal natal chart reading, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.